how spirituality works, how people become spiritual, how those who are spiritual become more spiritual or more advanced in spiritual life. So how this is working, this we will discuss in today's video. Stay tuned. So this might surprise you, but all spirituality always starts with listening. Listening is the very first step in spiritual life, because the sense organ, the ear, is that sense organ which shapes our whole reality. It is that sense organ that can most effectively change our consciousness, and it most certainly it's the sense organ that shapes our perception. For instance, if I open a car in the front and I see all the engine and the different parts, if I have no idea whatsoever, and first time in my life I see it, I have no idea what the different parts are about. We don't know where to check the oil, where to enter the water for cooling the system, where to enter the water to clean the windows and so on. But if somebody is there who knows about it, and he will tell us, oh, this is about that, and that works because of this, and this is about this, and this works because of that, then our perception will completely change. We will not see just parts of I don't know what, but we start to see, oh, this is the engine, or this is for the cooling, or this is the battery, and this is that, and this is that, because somebody gave us this information. So before we listened, we had no idea, and we have not seen, we have no idea what it's all about. And after we listened, our perception changed, and we start to see. And if we listen more and more, and we're becoming a qualified mechanic, then we can even immediately see, oh, this is the problem, or this is the problem, or here is that, and that's the problem. And that is because we have listened, we have received more information about the subject matter, and we have shaped our consciousness has broadened, and we start to differentiate more. Our differentiation becomes more refined, and so on. So the same is in spirituality. It is just a basic principle that listening shapes our consciousness and shapes our perception. So in the same way, if we want to dive into spirituality and we want to know what's actually going on beyond the perception of the eyes and our senses, then we have to listen from spiritual sources. So therefore, in Bhakti Yoga, or in the Vedic spirituality, the very, very first step is Shravanam. It is called Shravanam, that is the Sanskrit word for listening. So Shravanam does not only mean to receive sound through this organ, but it also implies the proper attitude of doing so. So it not just means that you just listen sound, it also means that you actually receive it in your heart with humility, and you also do it from the proper source, in a proper attitude. And then, if this process is done perfectly, all other things will automatically follow. So there is this word, or one name of God, is Adokshaja. Aksha means the eyes, and God means He's the one who cannot be perceived with the eyes. That means that actually God, and with God also the whole realm where God stays, means the whole spiritual realm in which God dwells, is beyond the sense perception. So therefore empiric science can never enter into spirituality. Empiric science can never enter into the spiritual realm and can never understand God. And empiric science can never show us God. So therefore, how can we enter into this realm of spirituality and into the realm of God? And that is by this listening process, by this Shravanam. So, but what we have to listen, we cannot just listen random stuff and the opinions of random people. We have to listen the message which comes from there. So therefore, there is the system of disciplic succession in the Vedic spirituality, and that means that the message is given from that realm, means from God himself, to a person within in this realm, and the message is carried on through the listening process. Means the message is received, and who received it first? It was Lord Brahma, the original living entity, who is the secondary creator of whole existence, and he's the in Sanskrit it is called Adi Kavaye. He's the first one who listened. He's the first listener. So he received initiation, so to say. He received this spiritual knowledge or this spiritual message from that realm into his heart. He was initiated by God through his heart, and he then spoke it to his successors, and they received it through the ear into their heart, and they spoke it, and his disciples, they received it through the ears into their heart, and they spoke it. So in this way, this knowledge or this message, this transcendental message has been handed down from master to disciple, from master to disciple, from master to disciple, until it has reached our time in our earthly plane. So therefore, if you want to advance in true spiritual knowledge or in spiritual understanding, then we have to listen from a bona fide representative of the disciplic succession. So that is therefore in the very first step in Vedic spirituality is to approach a guru and to humbly listen. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, if you want to know this, then you have to approach someone who has seen the truth. You have to serve him, and you have to ask questions. So that is the Sanskrit shloka is Tadvidi pranipatena. Tadvidi. If we want to know this, so means we want to know about the spiritual science, then we have to go to Tattvadarshi. Tattvadarshinaha is the Sanskrit word in this verse, and it means one who has seen the spiritual realm. And how he has seen it? He has seen it through his ear, with the Shrota Chakshu. I think it's called Shrota Chakshu. Shrota means listening and Chakshu means vision, through the vision of his ears. And how? So this Tattvadarshi, he has seen the spiritual realm. He has seen God through his ears. And if we listen, we have to approach such a person, and we have to listen in a spirit of service. We have to be ready to serve, to please. We are not listening for our own gratification, so that we will become great spiritualists and we can become great teachers later on. We're not listening in this mood. If we listen in that mood, we cannot receive. It has to be in a mood of service. Listening is a service. We have to listen because we want to become rectified in our spirit of enjoyment, and we want to become servants of God again. We want to take our eternal place as a part of the whole, and as a part of the whole we are servants of the whole, and we are giving our love to the whole, means to God. So in this spirit we listen. We want to listen that we can re-establish our relationship with God again, and we're not listening that we have enhancing our material existence. So if we have to listen in a spirit of service, and if any doubts are coming up, we have to put them before the spiritual master and ask questions. So that is the way spirituality works. We have to approach a spiritual master because he is the source of this transcendental message. We have to listen it in humble state of mind with the attitude of service, and if any doubts are arising, we have to put them before the spiritual master and clarify them. So this is how spirituality works, is particularly Vedic spirituality. Thank you very much for listening, and if you liked it, please give me a like. Please share it with your friends so they will also become enlightened about this topic, and subscribe for more, and see you next time. Thank you. Pivoto Bhagavatam Rasamalaya Muhuroho Rasika Bhuviva